disappointed, and to share the story of Danny Rubio. In July of 2020, myself and husband supplied an unsheltered individual with food and water for about a week. He camped out in an alleyway across from my home, but eventually we had to ask him to leave as he was very aggressive towards residents and other individuals experiencing homelessness, especially to women in particular. This unsheltered individual attempted to break into our home on the night of July 4th in retaliation of no longer supplying him food and water, and Danny Rubio confronted him, only to be met with a gruesome and horrific response. Danny was brutally murdered at my front door with a large hunting knife, and myself and husband were unfortunately too late to help him. The images of that night will forever be engraved into my mind, and I can never pay Danny or his family back for his selfless act that night. This incident changed our lives forever. The Neighborhood Rescue AZ organization strongly believes in leading in this crisis with services and compassion, with the understanding that illegal behavior that negatively impacts the quality of life surrounding the community is not acceptable. As humans, we should want the best quality of life for each other. We should not be okay with individuals dying on the streets from starvation, dehydration, untreated health conditions, murder, overdosing, and more. We should not be okay with individuals not having access to fresh water, to drink, for a shower, or a simple hand washing. We should not be okay with the bare minimum for our most vulnerable, homeless population. The lack of accountability from the city, county, and state is absurd, and we demand action now with real and sustainable solutions. Last year, over 600 unsheltered individuals died on the streets of Phoenix, and communities are being destroyed because of the lack of action. We will no longer stand for this. Forget the politics for one day and do the right thing and do your jobs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm Senator David Livingston, representing District 22, the new District 28. As a conservative Republican, you may find it strange that I'm standing here with this neighborhood activist group, but I don't find it strange at all. As a Christian man, I find it totally unacceptable that over 600 people died on the streets of Phoenix last week being homeless. It is not acceptable. We have to do better as a state. In this year's budget, let me give you an update that we have right now that have been negotiated between the House, the Senate, and the governor's team. We have $45 million of new money going into homelessness. Now, frankly, in my opinion, it's not enough, but it is one of the biggest increase in homeless funding we have ever done in the state of Arizona. It is a step in the right direction. We are putting money into the existing housing trust fund. Right now we have $30 million of that. 10 of that, 30 is scheduled for rural, 20 of it is for metro. We have a program that we're supporting with $10 million that the city of Glendale started, and the city of Phoenix and city of Scottsdale currently use that program. And we have my bill, Senate Bill 1581, that currently has $5 million allocated. This is a new program for emergency services to literally get people that are unsheltered into sheltered, to provide them water, to provide them a bathroom, a shower, a meal. Basic things that the state of Arizona has to do better. Basic things that the cities have to do better. The cities have to enforce their laws. We have to make a difference and save lives. And I'm so proud to stand here with these folks trying to make a difference in the state of Arizona. Thank you. God bless you all.
Next speaking will be Morgan Saylor.
Hello. I am standing here today as a resident of Phoenix, a mother, and the proud owner of a home in a wonderfully diverse working class community. I am also a person who lives on a street with an entrenched homeless camp and open air drug market. I am not speaking at this situation, I am living in it each and every day. I want to state emphatically that I am not against anyone who is unsheltered. However, I am against the city, county, and state government allowing our parks and neighborhoods to be used as de facto homeless shelters in lieu of real and sustainable solutions, both temporary and permanent. And I am against extremism within the city of Phoenix and the Department of Justice that ties the hands of our police and prevents them from enforcing laws and ordinances for all but the most heinous crimes. And I'm against a mayor, one who I voted for, who barely even acknowledges what is happening in her city, whose office won't deign to respond to the concerns of neighborhoods who are experiencing murders and shootings on a regular basis. I am tired of the city that's to solve this problem, while they and the nonprofit organizations with whom they partner have almost nothing to show for the hundreds of millions of dollars they have spent over the last few years. I'm sick of all levels of government pointing fingers at everything and everyone instead of getting to work and fixing this. The city and state relentlessly point to a court case called Martin v. Boise as the reason they cannot enforce any law or ordinance against somebody who's experiencing homelessness, all the while ignoring the fact that the city of Boise, under a court-approved settlement, was able to enforce reasonable restrictions on activities associated with unsheltered people, balancing the needs of both the housed and unhoused. While neighborhoods are devolving into chaos and people are dying on the streets, the city continues to have meetings about meetings about meetings. We are standing here today to say that we are no longer going to settle for talking and planning and excuses. We demand results. We demand accountability, and we will not be quiet until our elected officials ensure security and safety and a baseline quality of life for all residents, housed or unhoused. The city's current plans are to reduce homelessness by 5% a year over the next 5 years. Since 2020, we've had a 33% increase in unsheltered people. It doesn't take a mathematician to plan is to basically do nothing while this humanitarian crisis spins further out of control, disproportionately impacting our low-income and minority neighborhoods. I will leave you with a personal anecdote. Earlier this year, there was an unsheltered man who was living on my street. He used to block traffic with caravans of shopping carts, and which he protected from anyone who happened to walk or drive by. He was aggressive, and he was clearly suffering from mental illness. I called Phoenix Cares for months. I called the police, I called neighborhood services. I found myself stuck in a bureaucratic nightmare that was going nowhere. One day, my young daughter and I were having dinner, and we heard the all too familiar pop, pop, pop of gunshots. The next day, that man was gone, and I learned he'd been shot 5 times. At this point, I can only come to the conclusion that the city is planning to reach their target 5% reduction in homelessness by removing unsheltered people from our streets in body bags. Thank you.